Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the mountain. Well, today is the day we're going to frame up the walls in the tiny house expansion. Now, we are going to end up putting a window right here and right here. I already have one of the windows here just for reference. I'm going to put the windows as high up as possible. That way I don't have to duck to see outside. So I'm probably going to run the windows all the way up to the header right here and then have it come down there. Keep about the same height on this side right here. That should add a lot of light to the tiny house here, because as you know, there's no windows in this section. We do have one right over here by the kitchen and two in the bathroom. Now these windows are a little bit bigger than the ones that's in the kitchen and bathroom. I wanted to have a little bit more space, and also just for safety reasons have another way out just in case. Even though there is a front and a back door to the tiny house, never hurts to have a escape route through a window as well. So we're going to start on the straight wall right here, because this wall right here progressively goes up. So I'm probably going to build this one in place and build this one on the ground. So we're going to start with the easy one just to get the bloods pumping this morning. I don't want to mess up on no cuts. This lumber is not cheap anymore. All right, guys, let me get you set up. We'll go ahead and start pulling some measurements and cutting and framing out this wall. Let's get it. All right, let me get my trusty tablet. Top plate measurement first. Foot 3.5. Should be the same. Pretty close. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the top and bottom plate cut, put in place, and then I'll figure out what the studs are going to be and also what needs to happen with this window. All right, we got the top plate and the bottom plate cut and laid out. I do have some foam that I'm going to staple on the bottom of the bottom plate, and the bottom plate is pressure treated. That way if any moisture tries to get up there, I got it covered. Now we're going to go ahead and measure the studs, and we're going to, whatever the measurement is, we're going to cut 3 inches off of it for 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches for the top and bottom plate. And we're going to go ahead and get the first couple put in on the ends and the ones that are not going to get in the way of the window. And then I'm going to have to kind of frame out the window a little bit different than the traditional studs, because the rough opening is 36 by 24, so 2 foot up and 3 foot long. Let's go ahead and get some measurements. I'm going to write them right up there, that way I can see them from the saw. They should be pretty close to the same, but it might be a little off. We did do the slab. Come on. All right, I got all the studs cut that I need to cut for now until I do the window. I got 3 on this side, 2 on this side. I'm thinking the window is going to go somewhere in this area right here, so I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 on and these 3, and then I'll pull some measurements and lay out where I need to put my next ones to catch the window and also the bracing underneath. All right, let's grab the nail gun, get this thing put together. All right, got it nailed off. I'm also going to put a nail in each one of these. That right there ties that whole header in with this wall. So that is one extremely strong header across there with the way this is designed. Six and a half. All right, I got it temporarily screwed up there for now. I'm gonna end up having to put a stud here and down there and down here, and I'll split one in the middle, and then I will go ahead and put a couple of little stubs in there as well and frame it up really well. See what it looks like from outside. Oh yeah, I like it. All right, let's get some 2x4s cut and go ahead and brace all this off, get the rest of it done, and then we can move on to the next wall. $45 and an 8. All right guys, we got the first window in. Turned out really good. I might end up putting a piece right here just to split the difference in between there. It doesn't really need it. The way that I have it laid out, the reason why I put that one right there instead of splitting the difference was because of the drywall. Because it's 4 foot to the center of that one right there. And it's 2 foot to that one right there. And the spacing on these walls are 2 foot on center. So it does match, it just looks a little awkward. If I have extra wood at the end, I'll throw a piece in there. If not, it's not that big of a deal. All right, now we're gonna switch gears, guys, and do the bigger and more challenging wall. As you can see, it starts low and goes up, so every cut is gonna change. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. We'll go ahead and get the overall measurement to start with. I got to take that board down right there, get the bottom measurement as well, and then we'll probably put that one up and that one, and then I'll just cut in between, measure down equal spaces, and do those individual, and toenail them in there. Normally it's a lot easier just to build it on the ground like I did this one, but with it being an angle and I'm very limited on wood, I'm gonna do it in place. That way I know for a fact that my measurements are correct. right, we got most of the studs up. I'll still end up having to put one right there. Right here is where the window is going to go. I'm going to try to keep it in line with that one right there, and also this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and lay that out. I've already put these two at 36 inches apart, the width of the window. So all we got to do is put our bottom one and our top one, and then put our brace down there in the center, and we should be good to go. All right, let me grab a 4-foot level and transfer this line. All right, now that we know where it's setting, we'll go ahead and frame all of this out. Woo, that was the one we was looking for. Well, we got all the initial framing done. Looks real good over here with the two windows. They're about the same height. I did go ahead and put two there just to kind of center it up. I had to have the one there for the drywall and the siding. And like I showed y'all earlier, I said if I had extra wood, I'd add one more right there, equal spacing, just to kind of brace it up a little more and make it look a little better. Now we're going to go ahead and cut these little pieces in the front. I'm going to put one on each end and one in the center on both of these, and then that's it. The framing's done, guys. The sun is starting to set, so it's getting a little later in the day, but I'm happy with the progress that we're making. It is looking good, and it is feeling like a little room now. Definitely, as Roxanne would say, changes the whole feel. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pull some measurements and get these last ones cut and knocked out real quick, and we'll call the framing complete. All right, guys. Well, the sun is about an hour and a half from setting, and we was able to finish the framing today. This is how the front looks. Got the braces in at the top and at the bottom. And this is how that one looks. Got all the bracing in there. And got the smaller ones up in there. I might end up in the future, maybe, possibly, add in one here and there. Just to stiffen it just a little bit more, but I believe that it'll be okay. Well, I need to get the animals fed before it actually gets dark. And that's probably going to wrap it up for us on this one. We're making some progress. Hopefully my metal comes in on the next truck, because it's definitely putting me behind at this point. I'm ready for the metal roofing. And then we will end up putting the zip boards in. I got the windows just temporarily screwed in there now with 4 screws. Once we get the zip board, I will be pulling the windows out, zip boarding it, and then putting it back in. I've also got the window seal tape for it. Whenever I go pick up the metal, I will be getting the zip board from the same place. So I'll probably get quite a bit of that. That way we can zip board the whole tiny house. I actually got a crew coming in this weekend. And yeah, if the weather holds out, we might make some big changes to the tiny house here. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I love every single one of y'all. And until we see each other again, come on, let's go on another adventure.